Hello everybody, welcome back to Wampleville. Welcome back to Armada Mondays. We'll see if we can get to both of these. We have Akagi and Nagato. Now Nagato, another one of the your traditional pagoda mast style ships right there. This is Issei. We did this last Monday. We did both versions of Issei actually. And of course, please give Recoil a follow. And geez, I don't think you got a chance to stream last night, did you, Recoil? Oh, where's my? There it is. There it is. Boy, well, that's good, Sarge. That is good because I saw the posts about things being not smooth. So I wasn't sure if that was a sign or portent of other things that weren't smooth. But I'm glad that is not the case. This is going to be, I understand recognition markings on ships. The Japanese, as you see, as we keep working on Akagi here, you'll see that they chose a rather unfortunate symbol for their ship recognition markings. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. A little bit like when you're at the baseball game and you see that "hit it here" sign. Basically, the way it was described by pilots, they would just aim for the meatball. And that is something that we will be getting on this ship in a jiffy here. So Cubit, I almost never do that. The only time I ever break out the anti-shine really is if there's, it's like Phthalo Green or Severus Blue. Severus Blue is definitely one of those offenders as far as being the shiny. But yeah, that's really the only time I ever do that is if we've got some kind of shininess. The oils are so rugged, I don't even bother. You really want to give them, like you say, you got what, 3 days there? That's not a bad idea, giving them at least 3 days. You give them a week, whatever, that's good too. But at least 3 days, definitely a wise choice there for sure. But yeah, I never do any of that as far as worrying about, shall we say, the paint getting scraped away or anything like that, because the oil paints, they are really, really rugged. Where's my iron? There it is. I gotta get me some more of this right here. Gotta get me some more of this. It's really the only thing I use from Army Painter. I mean, I kind of like their basing stuff, but yeah, that's about it. Armored Wolf, it's kind of funny. After seeing that video on the Alizarin Crimson, it's how many times do you see me using Alizarin Crimson here? Watching that video you sent me, ain't gonna make me want to use it anymore. That's for sure. Or more prone to be using it. Do I want to go in? Okay, fine. We'll go a little later here. We'll go a little later up here. Now I'm gonna start getting into some of our markings. Let me use this thing. All right. Does the meatball go on the? No, it is forward of the elevator. That almost looks like a resting gear right there, but that doesn't make any sense. You know what? I need a tiny bit of Perline red out here. Give me a sec. Ooh, speaking of which, Armored Wolf. See what we got here? Yeah. They mentioned Perline red and quinacridone. So I feel vindicated, Armored Wolf. I feel vindicated with my Perline red. Hey there, Michael. And hey there, Dr. Faust. We got ourselves a doctor in the house. Everybody, please give Dr. Faust Painting a follow if you could. Hey, Dr. Faust, those were looking really good. I saw your last few miniatures that you posted to the Instas. Those were looking mighty fine. Actually, Dr. Faust, if you want to share those in the chat, please go ahead, because they were looking really nifty. Yeah, looking super cool. We got ourselves a couple of ships we're going to be doing here tonight. Yes, this is Armada Mondays. These are 1/1800 scale, 3D printed from Coco's models. That's Lee McCall. We have Nagato, and we have Akagi. Last week, we did Issei in not one, but two configurations. So this is early war right here. Basically still in its modernized dreadnought state. And then here, we've got it in its late war 1944-45 battle carrier conversion state. So yes, that was last week. This week again we have another pagoda style mast, Nagato. And going in 15 minutes, Akagi. We're just getting down to some deck markings, right, Michael? How you doing? Everybody, please also give Michael Paints Minis a follow. Oh, let me see. Well, let me, Oh, there it is. Here it is. So we have painted 3 of these on stream, Dr. Faust. Look at this. Now, this was the one we did on Saturday, right? This is our Hobbit Hole blacksmith shop right there. So, yeah, that's... and, of course... Oh, where is he? Now, I don't think that Bilbo Stabbins is a blacksmith. He guards the pumpkin patch, which is over here. There you go. There's his pumpkin patch. Don't mess with Bilbo Stabbins and his pumpkins there. So again, everybody please give Michael Paints Minis a follow, and also Dr. Faust Painting Clinic. So this also painted with the oil paints. Yeah, I'm going to put you over there. I can get to you easier. So we will be painting actually 3 more of those, Dr. Faust. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be painting some more of those. So again, everybody please give Dr. Faust Painting Clinic a follow. Let me see. I forget when we first started painting our ships. I think this was like March maybe. We started out actually with Arizona. Where's Enterprise? There we go. So this was actually our very first Armada Monday with the 1/1800 scale ships. And we've done a whole bunch of American ships, but we've also been painting our Regia Marina. We call that the barbershop Navy right there. Yeah, we've been doing that. And, well, now we're getting into, again, the IJN. Oh, some might recognize this. See that? We take ourselves a piece of plastic card, cut it to size, stick this on here, then we do our water texture. I think you can kind of see it there. We sculpt in that water texture. See you later there. Thank you so much, Dr. Faust. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the raid. And again, if you could, please give Dr. Faust Painting Clinic a follow. So we're just getting down to some of our markings here. This, unlike some of our other carriers, this just has a ton of markings on it. I mean a ton of markings. I think the only other carrier we had that had any sort of markings at all was Lexington here. And I mean, that's pretty minimal right there. Again, speaking of converted battle carriers, we also had our baby carrier. That is a Wasp right there. Tiny little Wasp. Teensy tiny little carrier there. Just a baby. We will be doing all of the navies. We got to get to our British Underwater Navy, then the British Regular Navy, then we'll get to the Kriegsmarine. We're even going to do the Marina Nationale because reasons. And yes, this is one of the midway carriers right here. Hence the gone in 15 minutes. As everybody knows, and of course this is the carrier that only took basically one shot. It got one-shotted by Mikulski. Basically, right about there. Blew the elevator right off. There was a couple of near misses. They thought they had actually escaped. And then, well, they found out they hadn't. And then things started to go boom. And that was the end of Akagi. It joined Kaga, Hiryu, and Soryu. Was that the amphibious ship there, Landrast? With carrying the helicopters and such? Let me get to my markings back here. We got 3 stripes. Yeah, we got 3 stripes here. So you get Landrast, I guess, apparently, they just used Tarawa for target practice. Well, I mean, it was a little bit more elaborate than just a target practice. But quick sync. Yeah, they were using the quick sync weapons on that. And apparently, they hit it with a couple of other standard anti-ship weapons, and it kind of said, yeah, whatever. Then they hit it with this quick sync, and down it went. But yeah, that's so much for Tarawa there. Somewhat of an inglorious end, but whatever. Now, Landrast, I'm kind of curious. How many people were fans of the Ospreys landing on that ship? I mean, they had a wee bit of a propensity to kind of, land erratically, as in crash. So I wasn't sure if those Ospreys were something like, oh, great, yeah, we're loaded with a bunch of Ospreys. This is going to be fantastic. So Landrast says that the Ospreys were fine. Okay. I think Landrast, I just remember from the late 80s, early 90s. And kind of they had a little different rep back then. They had a sudden altitude loss issue there. I'm going to just do the line all the way down here. Let's just do that. We're going to just start right at the back. I'm going to get some of that paint off of there. So yeah, that I have heard that some of those early issues, once those got fixed, it was a whole different deal. But there was a time where folks said, yeah, you know what, I'll take a pass riding on that thing. I'm going to change the size of this guy a little bit here. Let's see. Now, it wasn't the same class as Tarawa, was it? I don't think so. Alright, now I'm going to switch over this way because I got that pesky island in my way. Now I go all the way down the deck here. Just going to sketch in a little bit of a line here. There we go. So yeah, Sarge, believe it or not, I only just saw the Atlanta pics. Oh man, probably about 2 minutes before I started the stream. So again, glad that you could have some fun there. We'll get some of our red going in down here as well. We got a bunch of markings to do here on Akagi. I really want to get the one aircraft carrier. Out of desperation, they actually painted turrets on here. So they painted 3 triple turrets on there. It's one of the funniest looking aircraft carriers ever, and I'm really hoping that he has that file. Because to me, that would be absolutely hilarious. Let's not go too light with that. Let's make sure that this doesn't get too, like we just put, God forbid, a decal on here. So baton and wasp. I wonder if anybody makes a file of the concrete battleship. I do believe that was off the island of Corregidor. And I think it had multiple turrets on there, and they were super firing. I forget what that's called. It did actually have a name aside from the concrete battleship. I don't remember what it was, though. Now, Landress, was it mostly based out of San Diego then? Does seem like an awful lot of the your helicopter amphibious style ships seem to be based in San Diego. Gee, wow, Sarge, that's, holy smokes. That's pretty incredible. Well, yeah, so again, especially since it wasn't the easiest thing to make happen, I'm really glad that worked out. And again, Sarge, if you do want, let me change this here. If you do want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. So yeah, that's extra special there, Sarge. Really glad that worked out. It's gonna have this go all the way down to the stern here. Some kind of markings on that. There we go. Now, they're in North Carolina. Got on via the helicopter. So now it's got a cruise by the island here. Because I think your typical ships of that class are about the size of an Essex class carrier. And they have the crazy open stern, right, so that they can launch those launch the landing craft. And those landing craft are kind of crazy, the inflatable ones there. Here we go. Gotta get this gray back here. Boy, this is as much deck freehand as I've had to do since our barbershop Navy. Since our Regia Marina. Man, Landrest, I wonder if they've just mothballed all the Nimitz. Here's obviously they've made museums out of a bunch, like Midway and such. And I think Kitty Hawk is also a museum ship, right? I could be wrong, but I think it's a museum ship too. Because those things have to be somewhere between 840 to 900 feet long. I think they're actually, those might come back in vogue again. Well, it depends on how much, I think how many VTOL aircraft they start building again, I guess. So instead of having to have a super carrier everywhere, I still think those ships have a lot of function in them. Okay, I think we've got that now. We're going to try and lock in this. Before I start doing all the water stuff here, I think I actually have to get the get this deck pretty well situated here, because as you can see, look where my hand is sitting over here. So we are going to sharpen up all our edges here on the meatball. We got to move it over a scotch this way, like so. There you go. Yeah, okay. Let's get back to the linear markings here. Let's do that. Hey there, Velfira. No decals harmed. You know how it is, Velfira. We don't believe in harming decals. They should be kept safe. They should be kept far away from any miniatures. No, actually, Velfira, even if I wanted to, I don't have any decals, right? Because these are the printed ships from Lee McCall, so I don't even have any. We were just painting these babies on right here. So how you doing there, Velfira? Now, Velfira, you just get the special paper for that, right? Well, I don't. Would you even call it paper? And I guess it's kind of a 2-in-1, right, Velfira? If you're going to be printing your own decals. Because the Velfira, actually, all kidding aside, I have thought about it. Not for actually standard stuff, but I was just wondering, with some of our own markings that we do, well, like this. I mean, you could, in theory, just literally make your own actual decals. Now, Velfira, well, I had some help here with this, with the elevator, that it's also around. It's kind of funny. You would think that they must have had helicopters at the time with the way they got this elevator circled like this. So, Drexy, I hope that you're doing super well. And, hey, Drexy, if there's anything that you wanted to share in chat, you can go ahead and do that. So, happy Monday. Great to see you again. Of course, appreciate that. Now, there we go. There we are. Now, Landrest, how many more pieces do you have to go on that mega terrain piece you're printing out there? I'm actually printing out a fairly large piece myself. It's a, I realized that I never actually completed the the Harad terrain that I was doing. So yeah, I'm back to Harad because, they only eliminated half of that army. And Velfir, it's just so weird that now you could print those out on a regular inkjet printer, and that's not gonna, and that's just not gonna go all over the place when you put any kind of pigment fixer on there, or the water, right, to get that decal softened up. Again, I've never done it myself, so that I don't know how those guys work. It's kind of funny. Out of desperation, just to have some kind of chow before the stream here, I just basically took a spoon and I had some peanut butter. And I keep thinking, like, wait a minute, I don't have. It's been weeks since I last bought a thing of that screwball whiskey, the peanut butter whiskey. So I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have any of that stuff. We had peanut butter the old-fashioned way, just out of the jar. So you spray a matte or clear gloss coat on those. Again, it's so easy to modify these things. You don't like what you got, super easy to change it, that's for sure. So the upper levels, the streets in the building. Yeah, Landris, I'm thinking that's maybe only about a third of it that you printed so far. Maybe. Now, is it going to go on a 3x3 or a 4x4 table? It looks like maybe 3x3. There wasn't time to make the food that I wanted to make for supper. Ironically, I might be making that after the stream. I haven't had a chance to make the cranberry sauce yet, Velfira. I gotta do that tomorrow. Gotta make me some cranberry sauce tomorrow. Let me get rid of this. Come on. Piece of fuzz hanging onto that brush there. Continue moving this all the way. Gotta go all the way back to the stern. It's going to take a little bit here. Just using our 18-0 liner brush. Now Velfira, I guess, are we saying that peanut butter is almost as dangerous as mustard? Actually, Velfira, I did have mustard today. That was another desperation thing because I couldn't go to the store to get barbecue sauce. And all I had literally left was just some mustard. Well, with the banks being closed, which I only realized at the last minute, I almost went charging out the door until I realized, I said, yeah. It's the 11th of the 11th day of the 11th month, so that's not going to work out so well. So we'll wait till tomorrow. So they are 2x2 blocks. So Drexia, as we all know, this is a cuisine channel. It's not just an Armada channel. So that's a standard cranberry sauce. However, we take blueberries and we add those to it. Part of it is love me the blueberries. Part of it is it makes a really, really, really deep, rich color. And the other thing is it's a kind of a nice way to say, instead of just putting sugar in there, you use the blueberries to kind of get some of that, because I prefer the sweeter cranberry sauce. And the blueberries kind of get you the sweeter. Also, I tend to make the smoother cranberry sauce, which could pretty much almost double as ice cream. Was that like an ice cream sundae? So yeah, Velfira. It's the bane of Armored Wolf and I's existence, where we go to do something, and we say, yeah, well, that ain't happening today. We say, well, all right, so change of plans. And I have to make at least one batch of that, because my sister requested the cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. Also want to make some for the neighbors. Gotta make some for me. Yes, yeah, huge minor details there, right? Gotta make some for me. So again, we're going with a somewhat warmer gray here than we have on some of our other ships. Velfir, they've requested it pretty much every year. Oh, gee whiz. Well, a regular cranberry sauce, because originally, obviously, it was Kathy that made it. I'd never made cranberry sauce ever. But then Kathy started making it, and then when she got that job at the T-shirt place, where she was an hour and a half away every day, while she be gone, then I would kind of make things sometimes like that cranberry sauce. And I've also made a version where I throw in some of the orange zest in there, or orange juice. Yeah, I've actually put orange juice in there. All right, we got this other one's right after the midships elevator here. And remember, this is all wet into wet oil paints here. All this is wet into wet. Come on. Pull that a little further back. There we go. Okay. So yeah, Velfir, I like to use it basically as almost like jelly. Also like to use it. There's a little bit of our deck color down here. Let me see if I can dry brush a little hint of this down here. Also here aft, we'll do this back here. Nah, I gotta get me a little bit of thinner in there. More here. Okay, so now maybe we can start fooling around with our water. I'm just gonna grab me one of these guys, I think. Actually, Velfira, I think it might have just been like they had raspberries on sale or something, but I think that was the first combo one that was ever done, was a raspberry cranberry. So a crasberry. Oh, there you go. There you go, Velfira. That's a crasberry sauce. Yeah, crasberry sauce for you. I'm trying to think what else we might have tried, but yeah, that I think raspberry. That was something that Kathy actually did try that particular mix. I'm gonna keep going with some of the green back here, and now let's start getting some sea foamy stuff happening here. Happens quick. Don't blink. Let's go this way with it. And that start to mix back here too. Gonna grab me another one of these guys, or maybe, no, we won't use that. Let's just use this guy here. We're gonna get our gray out of that. Start going on over here to some of our fast matte white, because reasons. Sarge, actually, as I was just kind of going through some of the tabs that I had open here on the machine. I was looking for something, and I realized that I still have the Uranus fudge tabs open. So I'm like, I gotta get me some of that for Christmas. However, speaking of blueberries, Valfera, what was it? The blueberry cheesecake fudge. I'm starting to wonder, is that something that I could make myself? Well, at least cheaper than, $20 for a little thing like that. So yeah, Velfair, if you know of any blueberry cheesecake fudge recipes sitting around there, I'm sure there's thousands of them. It's like, whoever heard of that? But if you know of any, just say, hey, guess what? There is such a thing. There is a recipe for that somewhere. Never made cheesecake, but I would be willing to try. I would 100% be willing to give that a try. Because, of course, something like a blueberry cheesecake fudge, that's very, very healthy for you. It's kind of like a warm, fuzzy blanket around your arteries. You want to keep those things. It's getting to be wintertime. You got to keep those things nice and toasty. Boy, look at the... It does not take much time, right, before that really starts looking like some water there. Then we'll have to let this set for a bit. We have plenty of other things. We have a whole nother ship we can work on. Gee whiz. Super simple concept here. It's just the fast matte white. Let it mix in with what we've already got. Of course, the water was sculpted with our heavy gloss gel. Oh, Velfira, I don't know if you saw the new video. Yeah, we got the latest Patreon video up there. Yeah, I think, oh geez, Velf, I thought I sent you pictures. Sorry if I forgot. But the marble dust and the modeling paste, huge success. Velfira, I think that's actually an underestimation. Because if you've ever tasted this stuff from Uranus, that would be like the first 5 minutes you would gain that much. Yeah, if this stuff was in your house for more than 24 hours, you would probably gain 1,000 pounds. For sure, no doubt about it. That some of the you think that mustard and some of those other substances are very dangerous, lethal substances. Yeah, this is almost as dangerous as mustard. Now I saved this because I wanted to be able to use this as a blending brush here. That's why I was going to use this to lay this stuff out, and I said, no. Let's save it as a blending brush. Working this in here. Actually, Landrasta, I'll have to see if this guy, I don't think he's actually done any of the modern era warships yet. But if he does, or if I find USS Wasp, obviously the modern day version, we'll print it out and we'll certainly paint it on the channel. Oh, actually, Velfer, remember that 1/700 scale version of the Issei that I found? Yeah, that was in 1/700 scale. Oh, that was going to be super pricey. I was way better off. I mean, I could literally buy, for the price of that 1/700 scale Issei, I could basically get almost all the rest of the ships that I need from Coco's models. So I said, nah, we'll take a pass on that. Sorry there, Velfira. There we go. So Velfira, it seems like I can mix the marble dust with the heavy gloss gel, and I can still sand it. However, I got to find the, well, I think I might even still have some flex paste here. But the gesso, if I can find the gesso, no doubt about it, that'll certainly mix well with the dust. But the other thing, Velfira, is that it really, holy smokes, when you mix that with the modeling paste, the marble dust, that gets real thick. It gets real thick, real strong. So yeah, it all came up aces. Yep. So thanks, Velfira. Appreciate the. Actually, well, I do mention the assist in the video. So yeah, when you hear that, I was kind of hoping that you had a chance to listen to it somehow. I know I didn't post it all that long ago, but I was hoping that you had a chance to hear that and say, "Yep, that was me what said that." I mean, that's the cool thing about the streaming, right, Velfira, is that we can kind of discuss and conceptualize stuff here, maybe, and then do a little bit of brainstorming and see what kind of cool stuff we might be able to come up with there. More of the light to the edge, not every single one of these waves, just every so often. A little something that goes out to the edge there. And Velfira, oh my gosh, did it work? It worked really well for the trees. It did really good as a gap filler on that giant Smaug. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta finish putting all the pieces of Smaug together so that I can do more layers of the. I keep wanting to call it flex paste. So again, just doing our waves. We still haven't even gotten our darker glazy stuff on here. We haven't done any of our weathering stuff either. We'll get to it. We'll get to that. Not to worry. Let me see. What are we at here? So 52 minutes ago. That's what it looked like. Yeah. That's the difference of 52 minutes right there. you'd almost think we might know what we're doing with these ships now. There's getting to be. We had 20 ships now. Let me see. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I got myself somewhere around 17. Well, this would be, I think, 17 and 18, maybe. Hey there, Doji. Nice to see you, Doji. So, Doji, you want to share anything in the chat? Like usual, please go ahead, do that. Now, Valfira, at one point in the video, oh, good, I have one of these here. I got a bunch of these. Most of them just have water in them. I'm thinking I'm going to put some of the modeling paste in here, and I'm just going to use this to make it a little more convenient to use. Actually, Valfira, if one of those, the really large cookie decorating squeezy things is just too big for the cookie decorating, I might actually use it for modeling paste. Because I think that would be hilarious, don't you, Valfira, using a cookie decorating squeeze bottle for our modeling paste? I think that would be quite humorous there. So again, great to see you there, Doji. Happy Tuesday. Everybody please check out the Insta link that Doji just shared. Fabulous oil painted miniatures. We combine, well, the thing is there, I don't know if, well, when you watch the video, at a certain point, you'll hear me say when I'm working on the trees, I'll say, this looks like frosting. So that might be somewhat hazardous, because I just might mistake. I was like, oh yeah, okay, gee whiz, I must have leftover white frosting in here. So maybe that's not the best idea. Either that or I label it with some kind of big old label. Now remember the other day, what was that, Thursday? Right, when I wanted to walk to the store, got intercepted by the neighbors, and 2.5 hours later finally got home, never got to the store. One of the things they snuck in the bag for me, since they felt bad about me not being able to get to the grocery store, was it was a can of Ready Whip. Which I've basically just kind of been like, okay, here, we'll just put some of this into a bowl and we'll just eat the Ready Whip. That's why I want to make some of the blueberry cheesecake fudge. So I got something to put the Ready Whip on, because it's not healthy enough. We have to make it even healthier with the addition of some Ready Whip. There's got to be like fiber in there somewhere. There has to be some kind of fiber content in that. Now we're going to try and get some of our lights here. Then we'll come back again. We'll put some of our darks on these. Sponsons, some of the anti-aircraft guns. Then we're going to get our darker glazy stuff. We'll get our little bit of our weathering rust type of stuff in here too. No, not that edge. Let's just we'll go over this way. Alright. We'll have to, oh, geez, we never got our dark in that. Yeah, I'll have to do that too. We'll have to get some dark on the stack here. I think on Langley, that was the only U.S. carrier where they ever did the direct the funnel off to the side. Now, Valfira, that's one of those things where you just you have like an insulin pen Oh, look at this, some mooring cleats up here. You have the insulin pen. You've got the paddles. You got the paddles of life, the insulin pen. You have all that stuff ready. Then you eat your fabulous dinner. Then you have the blueberry cheesecake. Blueberry cheesecake fudge with some ice cream on top, with the cranberry sauce, some whipped cream on top of that. Yeah, that should be that should work out really well. You'd only have to exercise for about the next 75 days just to work off the calories from that one meal. Starting to wonder if these are the same. Let me look at something here. Yep. Same anti-aircraft turrets that I see on Yamato/Musashi. So yeah, I was looking at these anti-aircraft turrets. I'm like, those look familiar, and sure enough, same ones. We get that again. We have casemated guns down here. Where else do we have casemated guns? We have them on Issei. See the casemated guns there, and also Nagato casemated guns. Now again, I use the combat sprue here for Nagato just for funsies. I had really seriously thought about actually having those also in like broadside firing, whatever. If I had more adept digital sculpting chops, I have none. I would be tempted to try and actually create some barrel blasts, so that we could actually not just have the firing broadside, not just have the water effects, but then also the object source lighting. Let me get rid of some of this here. That we don't want that there. Let me get some of the asphaltum. Alright, there we go. Just had a little accidente there. Not a problem. So what are we at? We just hit the 1 hour mark. Yeah, it's 1 hour ago. This here had no paint on it whatsoever. Alright, I think it's time to do some darker glazy things. At least on the hull here, and the bridge, and let me use this guy. Alright, fine. I'm going to put a little bit of indigo in there. And once again, we get down to the most fascinating, exhilarating part of the stream, where we take the thinner, we take the paint, and we mix it together again. This is what streaming was made for, is just this level of excitement right here. I mean, this is just like heart-pounding kind of stuff right here. I mean, people might literally need to take a break after this, because they would just be so astonished at how amazing that is. Either elite. So elite, the Smaug still has to be assembled. There's going to be at least several days of assembly on that, mostly because I have to kind of do stuff with all of the gap filling, let that dry, go kind of a second round of gap filling, and then if it's possible, we'll try to do some airbrush videos on it. It's about 10 times too large to show up on any streaming area, so it will not be on stream, that's for sure. the wings alone. And if you want to print one of these out for yourself, just keep in mind that that's probably at least half a kilogram of resin, and that's with the body being hollow. So yeah, that Smaug is a big bad boy. Let's put it this way: the base for Smaug is larger than some of the Hobbit terrain we've been painting. That's just the base. So Elite, I hope that you're doing well. Great to see. Happy Tuesday there, Elite. So Elite, boy oh boy, we had we've had great college football Saturdays day after day, but this last one, 2 more unbeatens go down. The college playoff picture got blown up no sooner than they put it all together. Don't know how tall it is. I know that it's at least about 2 feet long, which again puts it about 1.5 feet too large for doing on stream here. That's for sure. But Elite, again, it's going to be on the Patreon page if I can. It's already there actually. You just have to go to the Patreon page and you'll see that in video. And then I'm going to again try to do some airbrush stuff on it. So yeah, Velfair, that was kind of cute, that little playoff picture that they had in mind. Yeah, that's all changed now. So Elite, I think you saw the streams that we did on the Moria Dragon. Oh hey, that reminds me, Velfair, did you see that Diwali is doing a new cave dragon? So yeah, it's sort of like that one, except I don't know. They must have looked at some of my pictures of the basing, because you could swear that they might have seen one of those. Because it looks an awful lot, kind of like it's got little dwarf casualties on the base. Yeah, it looks a wee bit like something I did. So I'm gonna have to say, hey, I deserve a commission for that. So yeah, Elite, it's been a glorious college football season, and it really just keeps amping up. So I believe December 20th is the day that the playoffs are supposed to start. However, elimination games are now. I mean, literally. So imagine this, Elite. Yeah, elimination games by like week 12 in the NFL or week 11. In the NFL, yep. Elimination games. It does not get any better than that, that's for sure. It's gotten to the point where I can't even watch the NFL. Well, I don't watch it. It's hard to even pay attention to it anymore. It is just, oh man, it is, the NFL is so chalky. It's like fingers on a blackboard. It is that chalky. Now I'm going to try and get me a little bit of streaky stuff going on here. Little bit streaky here. Like so. Like that. And that's all wet. That is wet oil paint down there. Yep. Yet we're still able to do the streaky stuff. Now I guess the interesting matchup could be Ohio State versus Indiana. I'm not really holding out a whole lot of hope that that's going to work out in the Hoosiers' fashion there, or favor. Yeah, no, almost was them and Navy, right? It was that close, right, Velfer? Thank you so much, Night Whisper. Appreciate the raid. Everybody, please give Night Whisper a follow. So yes, Night Whisper, we're doing some more of our IJN here on Armada Mondays. We're doing Akagi and Nagato tonight. And of course, here is our two ships from last week. So there is the late war Issei, and then here's the early war pre-battle carrier conversion. Well, Night Whisper, I hope that it was still fun. And of course, Night Whisper, please please share some of your fantastic stuff in the chat if you could, please. That'd be great. Everybody, please give Night Whisper a follow. So yeah, Night Whisper, we're building up to. We're not gonna. I think we're gonna hang on to this for a while here, but we're building up to. Yep, we're building up to that. So that'll be the piece de resistance of our IJN fleet there. But again, everybody, please give Night Whisper a follow. And again, Night Whisper, you want to share some of that fabulous oil painted goodness in the chat? Go ahead and do that. These are 3D printed 1/1800 scale ships from Coco's Models. He's got all kinds of nifty stuff. Obviously, we've done tons of our U.S. ships, so look at this. They meet. Yeah, look at that. That's Enterprise and Akagi right there. And of course, we've also been working on our Regia Marina. I think we've done 4 or maybe 5. I think we've done 5 ships for the Regia Marina, a couple of destroyers, a cruiser, and 2 battleships. So see you in a bit there, Doji. Again, happy Tuesday. So who knows, Doji? Doji, maybe we'll see you again later on in the stream. And again, everybody, please check out that link that Doji had posted. Super fantabulous oil painted miniatures. Go check it out. We need some more of our lighter stuff. We might have to get some more of the fast matte white out here too. We might have to do that here in the churn by the stern. Let's get some more of our white here. So yeah, Velfira, if you could shoot me a reminder to look for blueberry cheesecake fudge recipes. Because if I can make something like that, that would be very intriguing. No idea. Well, I got that mixer. I think that's the other reason. You're like, why all of a sudden breads and all this other stuff? I got that mixer. You know, it's great for doing all the holiday cookies and stuff, but I would like to get some more use out of that besides just cookies. Gotta find me some nice fromage bread recipes there, for sure. So see you later there, Doji. Again, thanks for being here. Always appreciate that. What are we doing along here? Let's get this. Just like we've been doing on all of our ships here. So yeah, Velfir, I still have to create. Is this the right? Yeah, it is the right one. I still have to create. Figure out how I'm gonna paint some fabulous water texture there on one of our some kind of photo backdrop. So no, I think that is the right one. Okay. You know, I'm gonna break that up. I'm gonna break that up there. Then we'll take our blending brush here and then just do that. Soften up some edges up here. Some of them over there. Even some of the edges back here on the churn. Yep, starting to work. Fill this in. Actually, Velfair, there was a part of me that wanted to test the modeling paste for doing this. I mean, why not? I mean, it's about the same consistency as the heavy gloss gel. So that is definitely something I'm thinking about, Velfira, is utilizing the modeling paste, maybe even for doing our water effects, because it's going to get painted anyway. What's the difference? What is the difference if it's all going to get painted anyhow? DS Full Tome, Mars Red. You know what? I'm just going to do that a little quicker. Break that down. Pin line washy stuff here. Not a ton. Just a little bit here and there. Certainly here on the deck supports. Yeah, just to kind of give folks an idea. I mean, this deck here is about 100 feet up over the water. At least, maybe more. So these supports there, I mean, those are going a long ways up. Now we got tons of sponsons here. I feel okay about doing some of my weathering there. Not on the water, though. Gonna get me some more of my glaze stuff. So there we go. And these are like sponsons on top of sponsons here. These are some really long supports here to support these anti-aircraft guns. Hit some more of that over here. Now for this, I'm gonna just maybe take the Van Dyke Brown. I mean, it's got charred animal bones. What would be more appropriate for the smokestack out here than the amorphous carbon charred animal bones? There. More sponson goodness over here. Mooring cleats. Oh, thanks. Double thanks, Velfir. Appreciate that. So Elite, I guess the only entertaining thing about the NFL season is kind of what's going on in Dallas and then with the Jets. So Elite, there's already been a lot of talk of Rodgers being traded. Since, well, that playoff team's not going to happen. Actually, Velfira, it sounds like they might have some other yummy things too, oriented around blueberries besides just the potential blueberry cheesecake fudge. Wait a minute. Let me. Okay, there we go. We'll use this to blend a little bit of the weathering there, just a touch. Again, that's all wet into wet. Elite, that I think they there might have been a record tied in the Sunday night game there with, what was it, a combined 7 interceptions? I think 9 is the record of combined interceptions, but I think the point deficit and number of interceptions, that might be the biggest one to be overcome there, Elite. I guess, well, you are the sideline reporter, so you would have you'll be able to find the actual stats on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was the most interception / largest deficit. Well, that was the next thing I was going to ask you about, Elite. Speaking, and we're talking about all things cardio here, with the artery stopping recipes. That had to be a little bit of a exciting finish to go through there. And Elite, they weren't just like, okay, one here, one there. It was, this side throws an interception. The very next play, this side throws an interception. It was like I was watching, well, again, I wasn't watching, I was just listening to basically a podcast version of it. Because this person usually has a laundry counter on their screen. And he literally has a laundry machine, a yellow laundry machine on the screen. So he put up the turnover count, and it was a picture of an Apple turnover. And that number kept going up, and then there was a point where the referee said, wait a minute. The turnover count is higher than the laundry count. Though they immediately rectified that. Yeah, the turnover counter stayed at 7. The flag counter went up to like 75, which is kind of light for an NFL game these days. Let me do a little more of the dark right here. Now we're going to try to really define some of our markings here on the deck. Yeah, let's do that here. We kind of had to sketch this in. Now we can start doing the rest of the markings there. And of course, Lee, you are well aware that you lose that turnover battle, you lose. It's kind of like in hockey, if you do not score on a 5-on-3 power play, you lose somewhere in the neighborhood of 85% of the time. Yeah, and not capitalizing on +2 turnover there. Also, the questionable choice of the 58-yard field goal. I think so, Valfira. And they have to wash them by hand. I could just see the players stepping on those on purpose, just to make them as dirty as possible. Well, accidentally on purpose. Let me see if I can expand. There we go. Get a little bit more of the dark in here again to try to redefine some of this. We will come back with some of our lighter stuff on the markings, but right now I just want to get. Nah, that's a little too light or too dark there. Let me get something a bit more in between. I think about like that. Yeah, Velfair, there was that one too. But again, Saturday was absolutely glorious. And that's what matters. And of course, actually, I think, well, there's no college game tonight, but there should be a college game, I think, tomorrow. And there will be another one on Friday. More college gridiron, more better. Do a little bit of streaky right there.
So say we all.
Hey, Iron Blade, nice to see ya. Thank you so much for the sub. Boy, it's been a while. I know that the hours have been crazy, later and later there, but thank you so much, Iron Blade. Great to see you back. Thanks, Iron Blade. This is, I'm pretty sure, the most extensive freehand on any carrier I've had to do so far is this on Lexington. That's it. That is literally the extent of it. Now, of course, our barbershop Navy had a little bit more going on, right? So, yeah, there's our... Still, I think that's a better ship recognition symbol than this one. I literally want to write in here, just hit it here. Thanks, Orange Blade. Oh, Orange, this is what we did last week. So this is the Issei in 2 different configurations right there. And I don't know if you've seen the Hobbit terrain, but yeah, we've had a blast with that. Really enjoying the heck out of it here. This was the, the Blacksmith Hobbit hole. We've done 3 of these already. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well, we're doing 3 more. Because that would, well, at least finish part of the Hobbiton board. There's more being printed out. Oh, that's fantastic. So I haven't done any British ships yet, Valfira. We've the Italian and the American ships obviously had their camo patterns on them. Do I have, wait a minute, I think we have Essex here. Yep, there we go. So there's Essex with its camo pattern, or Dazzle camo, we should say. Is this, and this is, I think this is our Portland class cruiser right here again with that camo scheme on it. Thanks, Iron Blade. It was actually all of the Hobbit holes. They have a fireplace inside, at least. So that has definitely meant a great opportunity to do some source lighting on the interiors. Now, Iron Blade, if you wanted to share any of your sci-fi ships. Oh, by the way, speaking of sci-fi, well, I'm going to be doing a basically, it's a 3D printed Eldar ship, because we did this. We've done a couple of other 40K like Imperial vehicles, but now I've got an Eldar vehicle, so that's going to also be part of our Vehicles Workshop series. Now, Valfira, well, remember, was it you or was it Grand Oracle that suggested, or Landras that just, okay, take the files, combine them with these, right? Go into Chidubox, literally drop the plane down onto the deck here, and just print them on the, instead of trying to print them separate, they're all going to break, right? If I try snipping them off of the supports, just drop them down onto the deck here. And of course, Iron Blade. Oh yeah, these, when you add stuff like this to them, and these come in all different colors, and there's obviously different shapes too. I like to call those light grenades. Oh, and we are going to be doing, the next one we're doing is a farm, like a stable hobbit hole, and of course we got all these guys printed out that we're going to put in there as well. Now, oh, I don't know Iron Blade if you saw again these fabulous. This was on Kathy's birthday. We did a Kathy miniature, and then we also did some of these gummy bears. So Velfira, I think those are from Printing Goes Ever On. Obviously, I have some other ones that I've gotten from other sculptors. So looking forward to seeing all of those. And I haven't actually painted any of them, Velfira. I have painted none of those. I printed out tons. I have not printed or painted any of them yet. So looking forward to doing that. And of course, we have to get back to our whatchamacallit. Oh, our Star Wars. So Shatterpoint, that's right, Shatterpoint, so that we can do some object source lighting on some more lightsabers. I kept thinking about our Ewoks, our murder hobbits, our cosplaying murder hobbits. We'll certainly get to those. Now, do I have the... no, there's just the one here. Okay. Now we're going to try to lighten up some parts of the... and it does go all the way back here. So all the way back to the stern. Let's hit these lines over here. Not everywhere, just in a couple of different places to strengthen those. Ah, there we go. There you are. Oh, let me see. 90 minutes ago. That's what it looked like. Yep, that's what we had 90 minutes ago. Don't blink. Don't blink, it happens quick. Boy, it was crazy, Velfair. We had to do this line, and then we had to do these two lines, all the way from bow to stern. Then we had to do these lines. We had to do the circle. Then there's these, which are... these must be launch points. That's all. I mean, obviously, it's weird. This one back here seems very strange. Either that. I don't think there would be an arrestor cable up here. I think the arrestor cable would probably be more back around here. Now we got more lines we have to tighten up here. On these elevators. Yeah, we got the forward and midships elevators need these lines. That goes the length of the elevator, okay. Do that here. Now, why don't we, I'm thinking, well, let's see. Let's, curious about these. Oh, no. Let's do this. So we'll do that, and we'll do Issei side by side. How the heck am I going to hold both of these? And away goes the color. So Velfira is it just me, or and it's happened before, right? Did that deck get a whole bunch darker than it was when we took away the color? Because I'm looking at this, that deck is not that much darker than the whole color. Look at that. Look at the difference there in black and white. Now, let me bring back the color veil for it. This is like I don't know, maybe I'm just noticing it more now, and it's always been the case. But ever since that one nozzle, look at this. Well, okay, so no, it is still, alright, we're okay then. I was like, how in the world is it that much darker than that? Now, Iron Blade, oh, I don't have, where is that one? Here it is. 1 second, give me a second here to grab this. This is kind of our favorite one to do with the film noir, because again, you see all these color contrasts, right? Watch what happens. Look at this, that cloak. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of shading here, but it's complete. Look at this. Everything just kind of disappears. Everything just sort of disappears until the color comes back. Look at this. Huh? That magenta and the green, they are the same value. It's the color is different, and that is the main aspect of that. The difference in the color. Hey there, Plank Walker. Well, Plank Walker, well, we have plenty of planks for you there. Look at that, Plank Walker. We have tons of planks for you to walk. Now, of course, what have we always said here? What is the worst ship to cross the line on? Is one of these. Can you imagine running about 900 and some odd feet of deck there with, shall we say, ankle trousers? Yeah, you don't want to be crossing the line on that ship. Well, you might have a welt or two by the end of your exercise there. Ah, there we go. Ah, from Moonlight Minis. Everybody, please check that out. Moonlight Minis does some fantastic stuff. Everybody, check that out from Night Whisperer. And then, of course, please give Night Whisperer a follow if you could. That would be fantastic. So yeah, everybody check out that. And again, painted with the oil paints too. So painted with the oils. You want to give Night Whisperer a follow. Night Whisperer, if you know when you're going to be streaming next, maybe give folks a heads up when the next stream might be. I know sometimes you just kind of have to go, you have to kind of roll with it, right? Okay, I have a chance to go live now, I'll just go live. Sometimes you don't know until you know. So check out that Discord link. Check out that Discord link and give Night Whisperer a follow. Now that filled that in more than it was supposed to. Just take some of that away. Try it again. Nope. Maybe there's too much thinner on that. Maybe there's maybe it's the opposite. Maybe we got to put some more thinner on that. Let me see what happens. We'll make another little batch over here. Well, we got to use up some of it here first. Get some of these portals over here. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay, it's bouncing off of that over there. Now I somehow have to get some deck coloration here. Over there. Again, around these casemated guns. So Sundays and Mondays. And that is 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, everybody please give Night Whisperer a follow if you could. That would be tremendous. Yeah, check out that Discord link that Night Whisperer also shared. Gonna lighten this up here too. Oh, yeah. Oh, this side. We didn't get the deck color on that side. Now, again, we're trying to lighten up some of the stuff here where we've got the casemated guns. It is really fun being able to paint these ships because while there's an awful lot of you can recognize the ship, just see a picture of it, recognize it. There's certain parts of it where you don't necessarily see things, again, like the casemated guns. Oh, here, there's a way too much paint sitting on there, but okay, now it's a little better. We got the anchor over here and mooring cleats that we want to lighten up a little bit. Bunch of portals on the port side here. There. Couple more of these mooring cleats here. What was it? On the east side, those mooring cleats were in the weirdest place ever. They were a good 15, 17 feet from the gunwale there. I was like, what in the world are mooring cleats doing way back there? Couple of sponsons up here on the bridge. Or the island, I should say. Okay, some, again, more of the anti-aircraft guns there. Do some light on that. One hour, 40 minutes ago. We just started on this. All painted with the oils, wet into wet. We took blue ink, Prussian blue ink, leave it to the Prussians, and our some Stanore's black primer, mix them together, just brush that on. That's the primer. That's what it looked like 1 hour and 40 minutes ago. Actually, I need to get some more of that tan deck color over here somehow. Underneath that deck, underneath the sponsons. We'll see if we'll be able to do that. First, I got this anyway. Let me try to get a little bit of light there. Now back to some of the deck color over here. You can just see, that is the prototypical battle cruiser hull right there. And it is same thing here, right? That's another converted battle cruiser. You can see it just in that long, narrow hull. Of course, with Issei, we were talking about that very, very pronounced Dreadnought era turret design. And we're going to see that on Nagato when we can't start painting this. And it'll be done the same way. We're going to do the dry brushy stuff there. In fact, maybe we might just do that in a little bit here. I might just do some of the dry brushy type stuff on Nagato so that we can do some of the first type of glaze, the darker glaze. Let that set, come back to this, Then come back to Nagato and do the weathering type glazes on there. These are from Coco's models, printed on I almost said a Bamboo X1. Well, that would be the large version, right, Velfira? So have a good night there, Velfira. Thanks for finding the recipes. We'll look at those, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the blueberry cheesecake fudge. I mean, if it's blueberry cheesecake, I would be happy with that too. It's something that I could send to Armored Wolf in return for the delicious peanut butter fudge, which is some glorious stuff. Happy Tuesday to you there, Thranuel. Great to see you again. So, Thranuel, hope that you're doing well. Alright, let's do this here. So Elite, I guess it's kind of looking basically like a repeat of last year as far as the NFL playoff picture. I think the one surprise team would be the Cardinals. That's probably about it, I would guess. Not really anything else interesting and intriguing as far as that goes. I mean, Pittsburgh. I guess the Bengals, as bad as they are, well, and of course the Cowboys. Really more the surprise who is bad. Glad that you're doing reasonably well there, Thranuel. Because, yeah, a whole bunch of the league is really bad. And then you've got some good teams. Sort of. Let me see if we can't lighten this up a little bit here. And now let's get back up to these markings now that we've done the darker stuff on them. Oh, yeah, the Caden Daniels. We forgot about the Danielsons there. Now, of course, it's a lot of divisional play is going to be happening. So things could really start to change over these next 6 weeks. I think this is where those teams that maybe are September surprises or October surprises, once it's December especially, that's what starts to separate things. We're getting, again, these lines a little bit more well defined here. Yeah, that works. So see you later there, Sarge. Thanks again for being here. And again, I'm glad that you were able to enjoy that so much and get to see folks you haven't seen for 40 years. So that is very cool. And of course, thanks for being here, Sarge. Appreciate that. And of course, take care of yourself. Let's see if I can't do some of the couple little light things here on some of these borders. If we don't like them, it's very easy to just get rid of that. Also have some more waves things to do down here. Let's get some of these guys. More of them here. right here. Gee, there's more of them down here even. This has to be a record number of portals. Maybe a little bit of light up there. So see you on Thursday there, Sarge. And of course, we'll be getting back into the back into some of our hobbit holes. I'm gonna try and get some more of the light on these little portals here. Let me see if I can get this extra paint going off of here. Don't want too much thinner, because if we have too much thinner, that's going to become a pinline wash, which will just fill in the portals. We don't want that, so that's way too much thinner. That's no problem. We're just going to get rid of some of it here. And away we go. Some of that here. What do we hear? Some more of this. On the edge of the hole here. Some more of these portals. Now, the one thing about the Coco's Minis is that they don't really have any supports on them. At least not the hulls, not the decks. And he does, remember, 2 different types of sprues for your weaponry. So there's the sailing sprue, and then there's the combat sprue. So any ship that's got turrets. So Steven, there's been a few. There was one not all that long ago. Yep, it's almost 2 a.m. here. Death by Tacos. Thank you so much, Tacos. Appreciate that. Tacos, yeah, I'm hoping to do some videos now that I've got... Oh, that's the other thing, too, again, with the photography. You can certainly, do some homemade jerry-rigging of stuff, but there's an awful lot of not too shabby photo booths that you can find on Amazon that might make it a little bit easier, because sometimes, well, time is money. And maybe just getting the photo booth on Amazon and just having it kind of good to go out of the box, not a bad way to save some time straight away. So we've actually, now we're 4 ships into our IJN. I think we have 5 ships for our Regia Marina. We still have a few more of the smaller ships to go yet. That's the largest of our Italian Navy. That's the Roma right there. We'll be doing the British Navy. We'll be doing the Kriegsmarine. We'll be doing the Marina Nationale, because, and of course, we're going to be doing Jean Bart, Richelieu, Surcouf, and of course the crazy, bizarre classes of French treaty-era cruisers. So again, that's cruisers that were victimized, I guess, by some crazy ideas, and then also trying to deal with the Washington Naval Treaty. Now, I remember as a kid, Stephen, when I would see pictures of all the different wrecks, and I'd be like, where's the turrets? Well, those are just held in by gravity, and every single ship pretty much heels over and turns over on its side. Those first thing that happens is all those turrets just fall out. So that's why when you see, well, like the Bismarck, right, you see it like this with no turrets in it. Sure thing, Death by Tacos. And again, you can check out the Instagram. You can check out the YouTube channel. I also have a blog. Yes, we still have the old blog there. And that does talk about, again, some of the old days when I made my own photo booths. Of course, there's so many fantastic LED light choices now that have different temperatures. You can turn them up or down. They also have flexible, necks on them so that you can put them really where you want those to go. Yeah, surface tension. I swear that one, the 3x3x3 photo booth that you heard me talking about, it's just like a hobbit hole because it has a round door. Seriously, the door on that thing is round. Although I think even a hobbit would look at that and say that's kind of small. Yeah, even a hobbit might turn down living in that photo booth. Although it's probably very warm because it has all of that. Was that shiny silver stuff on the inside? Obviously for bouncing the light around. No, that's still their. That is still our gray core. I might have to get more of my fast mat weight out there if I want to do some more stuff out on the water here. Now, can we try and get a little bit of our lighter wood texture on the deck here? Let me see if we can make that work. Now, well, surface tension, be sure to have your, again, the special goggles, the special hat, because that's not natural. That is very unnatural. So yeah, don't expose yourself to that bizarre celestial object in the sky for too long. I think that is a sign of bad portents to come if you've got that much sun there. So Stephen, we were talking about how Akagi here has the same anti-aircraft turrets that Yamato does. And again, also these casemated guns down. That's the biggest discovery here. Is I've never really realized. Well, also that Nagato has 2 decks worth of casemated guns. I thought we had. Oh, okay. So we can make this lighter. All right, fine. Hit these. This one over here. Bit more along those lines. Yeah, I'll hit this along the top. Maybe something down here. Just a little something there on that stack. So Mitron, I still haven't really heard anything about MESBG and whatever the heck is going on with that. Something tells me that there's going to be some massive changes there. People keep thinking, oh, it's just the stuff that they're not going to have anymore. I think there's going to be some serious changes. And I think that's going to lead to a little bit of angst. Yeah, Mithron, I haven't really. There was a couple of times the folks where I did the murals really wasn't actually games of MESBG. It was sort of, kind of. Because, well, they weren't actually familiar with how you really play it. There was a whole bunch of stuff they were doing wrong. which is why ultimately only way we're ever going to get to play it is here if we live stream it. Which is why I'm not really super worried at all about any rules changes, because it doesn't really matter. Okay, now these lines on the elevators here were just a little wacky. I think we've gotten those straightened out now. Yeah, I might. Oh, I can get some more of my rush streaks on this side. Some of them coming down from the island here. Down here. Got these mooring cleats by the stern. Gonna take some of my blue gray here. It's a bit of a mid-tone. Down here at the stern. Let's do this side. I'm gonna darken that down. Ah, there we go. Okay, I think in between. We'll just let those two mix together. Like that, that's good. Yeah, there's a couple of these portals got a little wonky there. Right here we've got I'm just going to use this basically as a blending brush. This is the nifty thing about oils and freehand. Oils make the freehand way easier in a bunch of different levels. Especially since I can essentially take this and just push the paint around, move it around, whatever, and that's real handy to do, right? Where's our... Here he is. So the freehand that we did here. Originally, this pattern was the same as this. That did not look good going vertical, so we just wiped it away, changed it at the horse. Actually had to move that backwards 3 times. It was too close to this side of the banner. It's real easy to just basically take a brush, push the green back over that, and it was almost like an eraser. Stephen, that I forget, they were 8-inch or 6. I think those were 8-inch guns. The super firing turret, 3 turrets up. That turret had to be 100 feet off the deck. And that's kind of an insane thing to do, to expose that much of that barbette just to have the extra 8-inch guns there. Hey, extra, how you doing? So these are 3D printed from Coco's models. That's Lee McCall. He is on My Mini Factory. He's got, I think, 2 fleet packs for IJN. He has 2 fleet packs for the US. I think he has 2 fleet packs for the British. He also has, again, the Italian Navy, the French Navy, the German, your Kriegsmarine. He also has now World War I era. So we'll be doing all of those. These are 1/1800 scale. And conveniently enough, if you want to actually play a game with them, Victory at Sea by Warlord Games. It also uses 1/1800 scale ships. So you have these. You've got fleets ready to play. Ready to play. Again, Victory at Sea. me get a little bit more of the rusty stuff here along the, maybe even some more of this on the fantail over here, because reasons. See if I can't grab some of this. Now, okay, now I can see these guns. Thank you very much. A little later along the edge. These are some crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, you have 4 levels of the deck, and then you get up to the flight deck. This bizarre battleship or battle cruiser mod here. And now down to the water here again to get some of the latest stuff on the waves here. Oh yeah, right up against the hole there with that light. Have I gotten this? Yeah, it's about as light as it can be. That's about as light as that can be. Alright, get back to my fastmat void here. Starboard side. Much later. Another one of our waves up here against the. Oh, gee whiz, we never did anything on this one. Never really did much of anything there. Let me now take this brush, some of our Prussian blue, and some of our radiant turquoise. Get some of that blended together. So we don't want just a line there. Let me take a little quick look, see how light. So I can't. I mean, I can make those lead waves a little lighter here. I think we can do that. Let's hold it this way. So you can see the big difference in the color of the water here. It's sort of like if you're going to do object source lighting, you need ambient light. Right? That doesn't have anything to do with the object source lighting. And these little bit of waves here, now it makes it look even more like it's cutting through something, right? Because if these waves just follow this, well, yeah, not so much, right? Using, maybe not quite that light. Let me go with this. Push this back towards the stern. Going to use this as a blending brush.